Class 7th. It's Divya here. Open page number 61. Chapter number 6. The Man Who Drew Faces. Now, it's a story of Enid Blyton. Now, in the first para, what he says that he was a very, very clever man. All the children knew him well because he would often draw pictures for them. He could draw animals, toys, children, engines, ships, and aeroplanes in the twinkling of an eye. It's a story about the man who can draw faces for the children as well, and he can draw animals, toys, children, engines, ships, aeroplanes in the twinkling of an eye. Just in twinkling of an eye, he can do these kinds of things. One day, a little Sally Johnson found him alone, sitting on a stile. He had his sketchbook on his knee and he was drawing the distinct hill Sally peeped over his arm. Now, one day, he was just sitting alone on a tile. Sally Johnson found him. He had his sketchbook. He was having his sketchbook on his knee and he was drawing the distinct hill. He was drawing a distinct hill. Sally peeped over his arm. She was seeing that what he was drawing. Now, can you draw faces? She asked. She asked to that man, can you draw faces? You knew portraits of real people so that I know who they are. Oh yes, said the artist. That man says to Sally Johnson. Oh yes. And his eyes twinkled down at Sally. His eye twinkled down at Sally. I am very good at that because I can draw what's in the face as well as the faces themselves. What do you mean? Sally asked. Sally Johnson asked to that man, what do you mean? Well, now, who shall I draw for you? Asked the man. And he sharpened his pencil. You tell me, and you'll soon see what I mean. Drew my granny face, Sally said to that man. Draw my granny face. The man set his pencil on the paper and began to draw a face. Man set his pencil and began to draw a face. It was a lovely face, sweet and young. That's not my granny, Sally said. Sally Johnson said to that man, that's not my granny. It is when she was 20. It is, man said. The artist said that it is when she was 20. He put in a line or two and then some more. He gave the mouth a little twist and drew wrinkles. He gave a little twist on her face. Wrinkle, he drew wrinkle around the eyes. The face became old, rather sad and tired. Yes, that's my granny, Sally Johnson said to that man. That's my granny. You made her into my granny when you put in those little lines. How funny that those tiny lines have made that face into my granny's. These were not always in your granny face, says the artist. See that one there? That's a very line. It came when one of her sons rather run away and didn't write to her for 2 years. She says that her son ran away and didn't write any letter to her since 2 years now. And do you see that one, that little front line that came when you're on page number 62? She said that Grandpa lost his money and she was cross and upset because she had to give up her nice house and garden and had not much money to bring up her children. Then, yes, Mummy told me about that time. Mummy told me. She said, Sally said that mummy told me about that time that grandpa lost his money. Then that's granny. She means that's granny was cross and upset because she had to give up her nice house and garden because she don't have any much money. Now, did it really put that line into her face? What's that one there? And a corner of her mouth. It's a nice line. It's make her face look sweet, Sally said. Now, this Sally said these lines now. Your mother put that's there, said the man. The man said this line, this nice line, is put by your mother. She is good and sweet and helpful, and your granny could not help smiling when she is about. Now, oh, I'm glad, Sally said. She pointed to the wrinkle. Look at those lines. How did granny get those? They came when one of her daughter was very ill. They came when one of her daughter was very ill. These wrinkles. She is talking about the wrinkles. These wrinkles came when her daughter was ill, said the man, and they got worse when your granny discovered that a great friend of her was doing something wrong, and they got worse still when she fell ill and was always cross with people It's good face, isn't it? Even though it's a bit tired and sad. Yes, Sally said. Sally said that isn't it? It's a good face, isn't it? Even though it's a bit tired and sad. Sally said, yes. I didn't know people faces grew like that because of things that happened to them. Now drew my mother's face. She's lovely. Now drew my mother's face. She's lovely, Sally said to the man. The man drew another face, round and young, unlined. The man drew another face, round, young and unlined. Sally knew it was her mother. Sally knew that it was her mother when she was young. You haven't put in the line, she said. Mother has not many, but she got a few. Put them in and tell me what they mean. Put them in and tell me what they mean, Sally said to that man. Well, here's one, said the artist. That came when your brother fell off this bicycle and broke his leg very badly. This line means that when his brother fell off his bicycle and broke his leg very badly. That's a worry line, the man said to that Sally. That's a worry line. And here's another. That came when your granny was very ill. That came when another line came when your granny was ill. And this one came when your daddy lost his job. And this line came when your daddy is lost. That's a very sad line, isn't it? Yes, but daddy's working again now. She said. So perhaps that will go, Sally said. I don't like it. It makes mummy's face look old. What are those lines round her eyes? Oh, they are laugh lines. The artist said. Your mother fond of jokes, isn't she? Your mother fond of joke, isn't she? That the artist asked from a girl. And she, gay and bright, she put those merry little lines there herself. But here's a bad line. Looks now, what was that? Yes, it was when your big sister wouldn't work at school and almost got expelled for her naughtiness. Yes, I remember that. True, I was very small then, Sally said. But Jenny's better now. She just won a scholarship. That line ought to be there anymore. Jenny's. Put it these and there it will stay, said the artist to the Sally Johnson. It's a good thing Janice doesn't know it would make her sad. She looked earnestly at the picture. Yes, it was her mother's face, she said. There was no doubt about it. She looked at dear little curly lines by her mouth. She looked at the curly lines by the mouth. Wasn't that? What's that? She asked. She said, I like it. I like that. What puts that nice little smiley line there? She asked to that artist. You did, Sally, said the artist. This line refers to you, Sally, the artist said to Sally. And his eyes looked very gentle. You are a nice girl, nice little girl, you know, and see, it will make it a little bigger. And now your mother's face is even sweeter. Yes, it is, Sally said. I'll make it bigger on Mummy's real face. You see, if I don't, I'd like to give Mummy a nice smiley line like that. I'd really love to put that into my mother's face, Sally said to that artist. Do you think people knew how faces are made? Do you think? Oh, I can answer so many questions, said the artist. Artist said to that girl, I can answer so many questions. And he got down from the stile. Now, you want to know too much, even given away a lot of secrets today. Goodbye, Sally. Use my secrets well, said the artist to Sally Johnson. I'd like to meet that man, wouldn't you? And see him drew some faces. I wonder what lines you've put into your mother's face. Some very nice ones, I hope, said the artist to Sally Johnson. These are your exercises. Number A part, multiple choice question. Choose the correct answer. Number first, what could the artist draw? Artist क्या बना लेता था? Now, in the first, animal and toys, ships and aeroplanes, children and engine, all above the above. All these things he can draw. Now, take the all above the above. Number second, what did Sally ask the artist to draw first? Sally first asked what? Her granny's face. Now, the third, initially the artist drew Sally's granny face as she was at 20 years of age. He drew a picture of her granny's face at that time when she was 20. Number 4, Sally described her mother face as daring, loving, boastful and innocent. She compared her mother face as she is lovely. In the last, number 5, the nice little smiley line on Sally's mother's face was due to Sally. The nice little smiley line was because of Sally. Now the exercises are finished.